seeking an assessment for ADHD in the UK. So I want to bring some awareness about something that I've been seeing a lot of on TikTok recently, and it really pisses me off that so many people are seeking a private diagnosis because they don't want to do the alternative, which is waiting for years and years and years, you know, for a diagnosis and to get the treatment that they feel that they really need and have been struggling desperately without. And they've been going to their GP after getting an assessment and them not agreeing to giving them medication. And I think, all feelings aside, I want people to know what the solution to this is, and it sucks that the solution is something that you need to do before you get the assessment, but it's super important that if you're seeking an assessment in the UK for ADHD, that you get an agreement between your GP and the psychiatrist you want to see. So there's probably multiple ways of doing this, and I don't know for sure if this is the actual solution, but it's what worked for me before when I was getting diagnosed. I was one of the lucky people, I guess, but I went to the GP and they disregarded the fact that I could have ADHD. They thought, no, it's this. And I'm just like, no, like, I've done so much research. I have been struggling my entire life with something. I don't know what it is. And I need some help because my mental health is not being improved with CBT or anything like this. I need some help. And they just tried to get me to go back to doing therapy and all that, which was just not helpful at all. And so I decided to go private. I spoke to this is the way I did it, but I spoke to the secretary of the psychiatrist. So I contacted her and said, look, I want an assessment, I'm willing to pay, because at that point I would have done anything to get an assessment right then, and I'm having some difficulties with my GP. And she actually rang up my GP for me. My GP then rang me back and said, look, I hear, you want to be referred, etc. And the key point here is that there's a contact line between the GP and the psychiatrist. In this case, it was the secretary, but there's this contact line. So when I was going to the psychiatrist, they were sending letters back to my GP, and they kind of had an agreement whether they would feed the information back to my GP and be able to give me treatment as long as the psychiatrist takes care of like my appointments and things like that. My like, it's like I don't know if it's called a plan or a health plan or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but it's an agreement. That's really important. So if you're going to seek an ADHD assessment, please make sure that both sides know that the outcome of this, if the psychiatrist recommends medication, that your GP is going to provide you that. I hope this information gets out there and people really start to, spread it more and make more awareness, because I think the NHS is terrible when it comes to ADHD and autism, just mental health in general. Like, I wouldn't say they're great at, but they're better at dealing with just general mental health things rather than more specific things. And ADHD isn't a mental health condition, but it causes mental health difficulties, especially if it's left for so long untreated. So I feel very strongly about this. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Yeah, bye.